Next, I want to show you how to actually apply for your Idaho dealer's license. So your license will be granted as soon as possible, and you can start your business as soon as possible and hopefully get you making some money as soon as possible. You want to ensure that you are submitting the application correctly, and that will ensure that your Idaho dealer license is granted as soon as possible. I want to remind you, you must complete all pre-license steps first. If you skip any pre-license steps, you're not able to apply for your license. So you must complete all of the pre-license steps we discussed a little bit ago, and then apply for your license. You must be truthful and honest on the application, and the application must be completed correctly in its entirety. All documentation must be submitted to Dealer Services in Boise. This is Dealer Application Form IDT317. This is the first page of the Idaho Dealer License application. There are some instructions that you can view at the very top of the form, but let's go ahead and scroll down, first of all, to your fee calculations. As you can see here, your initial new or used dealer application is $190, and you must pay that $300 iCar fee. You would pay $24 for any supplemental lot locations. And if you ever change your location, the application fee is $44. So I'm assuming that you're applying for the license only and paying your iCar fee. So the license fee of $190 is added to the $300 iCar fee will show you that you're going to be paying approximately $490 at the bottom of this form. So there's also a checklist that you can go down when you're actually mailing in your application to the state to make sure that you're including everything, including your fees and your application with notarized signature. You'll have to show that you have completed your dealer training course and also show proof that you filed with the Secretary of State's office. So don't forget to have your zoning approval and your original bond, a copy of your sales tax number, your insurance information, and it's referred to as your Accord 25 form, a copy of your employer identification number, your personal history form IDT 371 for each owner, officer, and director, and verification of the phone number that's listed in your local online directory. Here is the second page of your dealer license application, so let's go ahead and magnify it to ensure that you are completing it correctly. Be sure to enter the exact application date and your employer identification number. Check what type of application that you're submitting. And I'm assuming that you're submitting a new application for the first time. Then you'll check whether your license is going to be a wholesale, or remember, wholesale can only sell vehicles to other licensed dealers, or a retail dealer, which can sell vehicles to retail customers on the lot, or wholesale dealers as well. So a retail license allows you to sell both wholesale and retail. And then you're going to check the type of vehicles that you're going to be selling. So let's assume that you're going to be selling used vehicles, which would include trailers, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles, and vessels as well. If you're opening a franchise dealership, you would need a franchise agreement. So if you're selling brand new Chevrolets, you would need a franchise agreement from Chevrolet when you're selling brand new vehicles. So you'll enter your business entity and your exact dealership name that you've registered with the Secretary of State. You'll scroll down and go ahead and enter your dealership name, your dealership phone number, your cell phone number, your street address, the best mailing address, and your zip code, and then the person that has legal custody of the property along with their phone number. And that could be, say, for example, a landlord. So enter their contact information as well, and enter the name of each person whose name will appear on the dealer's license. Don't forget to have your zoning signature. This will be that zoning officer's signature from your city hall or maybe your county courthouse. It shows the state that the location you are using for your dealer's license is zoned correctly. That is a requirement. And this is the third page of your dealer application. And there are 3 sections on this page, not including the notarization at the bottom. And you need to make sure that you are filling this out correctly. If you are an individual, you'll only complete section number 1. If you are a partnership or a limited partnership or limited liability partnership, then you'll only complete section 2. If you're a corporation or limited liability corporation, then you'll only complete section number 3. I want to remind you one more time. If you're an individual, you'll only complete section 1. If you're a partnership or limited liability partnership, only complete section 2. If you're a corporation or an LLC, then you'll only complete section number 3. And finally, at the bottom of this form, You will need to have it notarized, so don't sign it until you are in front of a notary. And I want to remind you, once you've completed all 3 sections of these pages, you want to make sure and then have it notarized. On the 4th page, you're going to see your bond information, and you'll have that notarized as you see right here. Be sure that all the information is correct, and then be sure to have that bond signed and notarized. And here you see what's called your dealer, owner, and salesperson application form IDT 3171, which also needs to be completed in its entirety. So let's take a look at this form. You'll need to complete the appropriate section here, and I want you to be aware later on, if you do hire a salesperson, you'll need to be sure to submit this form for that person as well. So let's assume at this time that you're going to be an active owner, so you'll only check the box that says active owner, as you can see at the top. If you are hiring a full-time salesperson, 30 or more hours a week, then it's $36 for the salesperson license. 30 hours or less a week, it's also $36. So please keep that in mind. And also, a part-time salesperson without an Idaho driver's license would be $36 as well. The state wants to know if you or possibly the salesperson has ever had a dealer's or salesperson or manufacturer license revoked or suspended or subject to other disciplinary actions, or if you or a partner or director or stockholder of the firm whose license was possibly subjected to disciplinary action, or if you've ever been convicted of a felony in conjunction with any dealership in Idaho or any other state. So you will have to explain those circumstances on the back of this form. So just be sure that you're being truthful, and you could never ever submit a false dealer application. That would be against the law. So make sure and enter all the information correctly, and then you'll enter your name as it appears on your driver's license. And make sure that the information for you, or maybe if you're applying for a salesperson, you would have them sign the bottom of the form as well. Here you see all that documentation that you'll need to submit with your application. As a reminder, you'll need a check made payable to the Idaho Department of Transportation, your original dealer application form IDT 3170 with a personal history form as well for all officers and owners. Don't forget your dealer course certificate of completion, which you're going to download automatically when you've completed the final video of your Idaho dealer pre-license course. Proof of your Secretary of State filing, a list of office members as well, and a signed document with your zoning approval and your original dealer surety bond, a copy of your seller's permit, your proof of insurance, which is your Core 25 form. Remember, you need that employer identification number. And don't forget to submit the verification that your phone number is publicly listed. You're going to shove all of that documentation into a great big envelope with a couple of stamps, and you're going to mail it to Dealer Services, Idaho Transportation Department. And that's going to be P.O. Box 34. That's obviously going to be in Boise, 83707-0034. I want to remind you, again, if you have any questions during the application process, you can call Dealer Services at 208-334-8681, or you can send them an email to dealers@idt.idaho.gov. When your dealer license has been approved, this is what your license is going to look like. So congratulations. You are now a licensed Idaho motor vehicle dealer. And you can see at the very bottom of this important document that this must be posted in public view. I want you to be aware. You must display your dealer's license, your sales tax license, that's your seller's permit, and any local businesses' licenses as well. I also recommend displaying a copy of your dealer bond to show the customers that you are bonded. So be sure to display these documents. You're going to work really hard to get these documents, and when you receive your dealer's license, you're going to be super proud of all these licenses. So make sure and display them prominently. This is the law. Once your license has been approved, you need to register at the DMV dealer portal. And you can bring all your dealership information on that portal. You're going to be able to file sales reports, which I'm going to show you how to do later on, apply for titles for the vehicles that you've sold to your customers, and we'll cover that extensively later on in your dealer course. So once your dealership license is granted, you'll need to go to dealersonline.itd.idaho.gov, and here you have landed on the Dealers Online Services. And since you don't have an account yet, you're going to go all the way up to the top right there and click on that blue sign up button that you see right there. And you'll click the sign up now. and you'll enter all of your details, and then it will be registered. I want you to be aware that online services will allow you to view your dealership information, report sales, apply for those titles that we'll cover here in just a little bit. And later on, we will cover that extensively in your dealer training course. Once again, I want to give you that valuable information. If you have any questions whatsoever about your dealer's license, or maybe been dealer for 10 or 20 years, they will have answers for you at Dealer Services. That's 208-334-8681, or you can drop them an email at dealers@itd.idaho.gov. Let's move on to the next unit.